Hello, my name's Bev and I'm the author of the book Please Eat, A Mother's Struggle to Free Her Teenage Son from Anorexia, which describes our family's battle with the deadly eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, which my teenage son Ben developed back in 2009 when he was just 15 years old. This post is from the 13th of February 2011 and it looks at a supermarket visit and how I'd tweaked my own reaction to shopping with Ben in the supermarket, and I'd changed from really just feeling that it was easier from letting him choose what he felt he could handle eating to actually insisting that he did buy something that he previously would have dismissed as too high in calories or too much fat or whatever. You might wonder why on earth I took Ben supermarket shopping with me. Well, the reason was because during the worst of Ben's illness, his dad was working away from home, so it was just me and Ben in the house, and I really had to be with Ben most of the time, especially when we'd taken him out of school, because it could have been dangerous to leave him on his own, especially when he was going through a suicidal phase, and it was impractical to get someone to come and sit with him in the house, which I managed to do occasionally, but not always. So it usually meant that Ben came with me to the supermarket, and supermarket shopping was a real stressful nightmare that took ages and ages and ages. But in the battle for Cake Mountain, which is what this blog post is called, I remember standing there in that supermarket, just arms folded and just patiently waiting and refusing to move on to do the rest of the shopping until Ben had actually chosen some cake and put it in the trolley and left it in the trolley as opposed to putting it back on the shelf. And I was just acting as if I was completely relaxed and had all the time in the world, but I wasn't going to budge until a good decision was made. I think what this post does is show that I as a mother was feeling a lot more confident in February 2011 and a lot more on top of it and determined not to let the anorexia win. And this blog post is almost tongue-in-cheek, treating it like a battle with sort of general or Captain Mom versus General Anorexia. And I think the fact it's tongue-in-cheek shows that I feel more confident at this stage and that I was never ever going to give up. I was just going to drive forward and take Ben with me towards recovery. Anyway, this post from the 13th of February 2011 is called The Battle for Cake Mountain. Who won? Okay, so General Anorexia took our side by surprise on Friday afternoon by dropping a 1.9 kilo bombshell on us, which sent everyone running for cover. However, on closer examination, and after sending in our undercover spies to keep tabs on what's happening in the kitchen and on the dining table, things aren't so serious as we first thought. Yes, there is some damage which will take a long time to repair, and yes, it has thrown us a bit off course, but it's nothing that we can't solve, hopefully. So Captain Mum spent Friday afternoon keeping a close eye on things without alerting the enemy in any way, and General Anorexia must have been caught off guard when Ben decided that, yes, he was going to go out with his friends on Friday night, despite the enemy telling him he might as well cancel his entire social life. And he had a good time, came back totally chilled and happy to be with his friends. Then he ate tea and pudding as normal, followed by a good night's sleep, followed by breakfast as normal. So far, so good. But of course, we veterans never take our eye off the ball for one instant. And halfway round Tesco's on Saturday morning, General Anorexia sent in reinforcements with a vengeance. The result was the battle for Cake Mountain, which had a distinct echoes of the kind of thing we used to experience at the supermarket in the past. For a while now, Ben is happily eating slices of slab cakes like Jamaican ginger cake or golden syrup, and it was buy one get one free, so he put 2 cakes in the trolley. But then the enemy prompted him to take them out and put them back on the shelf and dither around, putting other cakes into the trolley, taking them out and putting more cakes in and taking them out, etc., etc. This went on for 20 minutes before he, predictably, decided he wasn't going to have any of them. But I wasn't going to let the enemy get off lightly, so I insisted Ben pick some cakes, refusing to give in to the anorexia. We won and took Battenberg and Dayton walnut slice. In the afternoon, Ben went to the cinema with E, another social success. However, by late evening, General Anorexia had returned with reinforcements, forcing Ben to think about food all the time, followed by a sleepless night with nightmares about food. But generally, I think we'll pull through, even though Ben is finding it very hard at the moment. The trick is to keep reminding him of what life without anorexia looks like. He's already experienced it to a certain extent, and it would be a crying shame to let the anorexia drag him back into the darkness. I reminded him that all the anorexia wants to do is to destroy. It will lie and fib, convincing the sufferer that it is the safe, secure and easy option. But all it wants to do is act like a boa constrictor and squeeze the life out of the sufferer, and I won't let it do that. That's the end of that entry. You'll find a link below to my blog, and you'll also find a link to my website where you can download free PDFs of my blog, and also a link to Amazon where you can buy a copy of my book.